Now, live on KBTX, the Brazos Valley's news leader, this is News 3 at noon.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Callie Henly. President Trump is making another push for the latest plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. This morning, he picked up 2 more GOP votes after guaranteeing those with pre-existing conditions would be protected. Meg Oliver reports.
Today, we're here announcing that with this addition that we brought to the president and sold him on in over an hour meeting in here with him, that we're both yeses on the bill.
President Trump picked up 2 more votes this morning as he ramps up pressure on Republicans to get on board the GOP's latest version of its plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. Mr. Trump met with 2 House Republican holdouts at the White House today, hoping to secure enough for a victory on one of his core campaign promises.
This amendment specifically targets those that would lose it because a governor may seek a waiver.
Congressman Fred Upton of Michigan was one of the Republicans in that meeting, along with Congressman Bill Long of Missouri. Both were opposed to the previous version of the health care bill, which allowed states to determine whether pre-existing conditions must be covered.
I was always for the underlying bill. When they made what I consider the change to pre-existing conditions, that's when I said I'm a no.
Now 2 amendments will be taken to the Rules Committee and added to the underlying bill. The White House expects a vote this week, but congressional leaders made no promises. Meg Oliver, CBS News, the White House.
FBI Director James Comey is facing tough questions on Capitol Hill this morning. Comey is being grilled about the FBI's investigations into Hillary Clinton's private email server and possible Trump campaign connections with Russia. It's not just lawmakers upset with Comey. Hillary Clinton blames the FBI director as one of the reasons why she lost the presidential election.
I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th.
Why was it necessary to announce 11 days before a presidential election that you were opening an investigation?
This was terrible. It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election, but honestly, it wouldn't change the decision.
The president responded in a tweet. FBI Director Comey was the best thing that ever happened to Hillary Clinton, and added, the Trump-Russia story was just an excuse used by the Democrats as justification for losing the election. The investigation into Trump's campaign connections with Russia is ongoing. Landowners and those who are against a controversial high-speed rail in Texas will have the chance to voice their concerns tomorrow. The House Transportation Committee will hold a hearing in Austin Thursday morning concerning a bullet train that promises to get passengers from Houston to Dallas in 90 minutes. A portion of the proposed route would pass directly through 3 counties in the Brazos Valley. The committee will meet to hear public testimony on at least 4 bills aimed at stopping or delaying Texas Central's proposal to privately fund the train. News 3's Matthew Villanueva will be in Austin and have coverage throughout the day on News 3. The North Texas police officer who shot and killed an unarmed teenager over the weekend is now out of a job and under investigation. The Balch Springs Police Department near Dallas fired Officer Roy Oliver. Authorities say the fatal altercation started when officers arrived at a chaotic house party on Saturday night to investigate an underage drinking complaint. Body cam video contradicted the department's original report that the car Oliver was in started backing towards officers. Authorities now say the officers confronted the vehicle Edwards was in as the car was driving away. Oliver opened fire, shooting Edwards in the head.
We are declaring war on bad policing. This has happened far too often.
Members of the Mesquite High football team in Balch Springs are remembering their former teammate. Jordan was supposed to start spring practice Monday. The team paid tribute to Jordan at his locker, where the freshman's jersey and equipment still sit. A University of Texas student killed on campus is being remembered in his hometown. Students gathered at Graham High School this morning in memory of Harrison Brown. A candlelight vigil was held last night. In high school, Brown was involved in band, choir, and athletics. The school's band director says his schoolmates remember him well.
As news was starting to come out and we were starting to hear little bits of things, we had kids hanging out in the band hall, all kind of supporting each other and trying to just understand, what was happening.
The suspect, Kendrix White, was charged with murder. UT Austin police say White has a history of mental illness, adding he had been recently involuntarily committed in another city. Authorities are still trying to figure out a motive. Towns and highways are underwater in Missouri today. The Merrimack River near St. Louis crested overnight. Much of the state remains under flood warnings. In the community of Eureka, many residents are coming together to save their city.
If the river wins, the river wins, but we're going to try our best not to let it win this year.
16 months ago, a rare December flood swept through these same river towns, damaging hundreds of homes. The U.S. Coast Guard is helping Eureka residents with the sandbagging. American Airlines is getting ready to cut more legroom in economy class. The company says it will shrink the space between seats on its next generation planes this fall. The new jets will have up to 3 rows and 2 inches less space. But the airline says that passengers will hardly notice having less room. The new configuration will allow for at least 10 more seats. 2 people are recovering after their trucks collided just before 7 this morning in Bryan. The accident happened near the intersection of Harvey Mitchell Parkway and Leonard Road when one of the trucks pulled out of the Shell gas station and hit the other truck that was traveling north on Harvey Mitchell. The drivers both sustained minor injuries. A traffic alert at this noon hour. Crews are doing road work today at the intersection of Krennic Tap Road and West King Cole Drive in College Station. As a result, the intersection will be closed to traffic today through Friday while crews work on some street repairs in the area. Drivers are asked to avoid the area. It's time for Pump Patrol. We've been monitoring the lowest gas prices in town. Sam's Club on Earl Rudder Freeway is the lowest, ringing in at $2.02. Murphy USA on Briarcrest Drive and Shell on East Villa Maria Road are both just a few pennies more at $2.06. To find all the lowest gas prices in the Bryan College Station area, go to our web channel, kbtx.com, click on the Features tab, and look for Pump Patrol. We're following some breaking news out of the Dallas area. North Lake College in Irving is reportedly on lockdown after reports of an active shooter. People were urged to go to the nearest room and take shelter. We're working to gather more information about this developing story and will keep you updated on air and online. Could storms slow down your afternoon commute? Carly Cassidy has a look at the forecast coming up on News 3 at noon. Britain's Prince William and his wife Duchess Kate are suing the paparazzi over private photos snapped from a distance during one of their vacations. Jonathan Vigliotti reports from London.
The Duke and Duchess were all smiles in France in March on their first official visit to the country, but this, of course, was a planned photo shoot. It's the unplanned one that happened at this chateau in 2012 that has them firing back at French media. Prosecutors were in court yesterday hearing the case filed by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge against photographers and publishers of Closer. The gossip magazine is charged with invading the privacy of Kate by snapping and printing topless photos of her. A lawyer for the magazine justified the publication on public interest grounds, saying in court the pictures disproved rumors circulating at the time that the Duchess might be anorexic. The photos were taken from a long-lens camera while the couple was on vacation. Royal correspondent Roya Nika was with the couple when the story broke and said they had every expectation of privacy.
If they're going on holiday to a private home, then they then have a full expectation of privacy just like any other member of the public.
Prince William submitted a statement to the court saying the photographs were shocking and all the more painful given the harassment linked to the death of his mother. Princess Diana was hounded by the press until the day she died in a car crash in Paris 20 years ago after being chased by paparazzi through the city. French authorities have already banned reproduction of the topless pictures, but the images still appeared in several other publications across Europe. Here at the palace, they're asking for $1.6 million in damages, enough money they hope to make photographers and publishers think twice in the future. The court expected to make its decision later this summer. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, London.
So Carly, are we going to be expecting that rain today?
Yes, we actually do have a little bit of some rain and storms on radar right now, some popping up into the northeastern counties, so that's going to continue to move on out to the east, and then those storms we'll see a little bit more later on this afternoon.
That's all our time for this afternoon. We'll have more local news coming up at 4 anytime at kbtx.com. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you for watching News 3 at noon on KBTX. The people you know, the news you trust.